So the other day I was studying at the library, you know, going over some advanced calculus and stuff. And after a while I got tired, and so I was like, you know, why not put an anime on? So I actually found an anime that was being live streamed on YouTube, but it was like really boring. It was just like this girl endlessly writing squiggly lines on a page and then turning the page and writing the exact same lines. The anime was called Lo-Fi Hip Hop Radio Beats to... Oh wait, this isn't an anime? It's a music stream? Nah. Okay, but I'm still curious. Why is this girl here stuck eternally in this loop, and what is she even studying for? In my quest to find out, I did some research and discovered that this stream was actually based off a 1995 anime film called Whisper of the Heart. And they actually used to use footage of the anime as the stream, but they had to change it because of copyright. But I watched the anime and turns out it's actually kind of a banger. Whisper of the Heart is about a 14-year-old girl named Shizuku who drops out of middle school to write a book. Kind of like Lil Wayne. He also dropped out of middle school to start writing. Being in middle school and living in the city, she is pretty much dragged around by life, leaving her barely any time to figure out what she actually wants to do. She knows she likes books and writing, but at home her older sister makes her do all the chores, and at school, well, she has to do school things, and even her social life consists of a weird love triangle where her best friend loves this guy who loves her, but she doesn't love him. Basically, she is just lost and everything feels pretty aimless to her. It's a story about a girl trying to figure out where she wants to take her life, when it seems like most people around her are going down a one-way road with no room for exploration. I mean, even her mom and sister are going to college. The story doesn't really have any crazy themes going on like in other Ghibli movies, and it doesn't really have any magical elements. It's just a story about an ordinary girl living in an ordinary world. But I feel like that's exactly what makes the story so special. This is going to be a bit of a tangent, but I feel like so much of media nowadays is focused on creating bigger and more grandiose narratives, forgetting that the slow and mundane aspects of life can be just as interesting. Mr. Beast says he wants to make the best videos possible, but all I see is another zero being added into the title of his videos. The biggest movies nowadays are just the crazy, insane Marvel superhero movies, and even in anime, the shonen and battle genres are pretty much always what rises to the top. To be fair, Slice of Life is boring as hell. Casey Neistat is one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, and although some of his largest videos are about like $21,000 airplane ticket or snowboarding with the NYPD, I think what we all remember Casey for are the small stories and the unique quirks in his personality. Casey can tell a story about making a holder for his bar of soap or bike lanes in New York City. Don't get me wrong, bigger and better is still really cool, but I think sometimes it overshadows the smaller stories that happen all around us. At the start of the movie, there's a sequence where Shizuku is getting on the train to deliver lunch to her dad who works at the library, but she sees a fat cat get on the seat next to her and she decides, hey, you know what, why not just follow this cat and see where it takes her? She follows it across the street and alleyways, and by the way, she is insanely agile, like she's just casually dodging cars over here. But the cat takes her to this antique shop where she would find a doll of another cat in a suit, which would go on to become the protagonist of the book that she's gonna write. You know, all the sequence is just her following a cat across the city, but I was glued to the screen the whole time, wondering where it would take her. The movie is filled with small stories like this, like when she's writing a parody of country roads in Japanese, or when she's trying to find out who the person who is borrowing the same books from her at the library. Turns out that this person was a guy in her grade named Seiji, and he's actually the grandson of the old man who ran the antique store she went to earlier. Meeting Seiji is what allows her to realize that there is more than just one path to life. You see, Seiji wants to drop out of middle school to make violins. Seeing him being fully committed to his dream, even planning to move to Italy to go to a violin making school, Shizuku decides to commit to her own dream and says, fuck it, I'ma just write a book. She fails her middle school graduation tests and she doesn't do her chores, all to write her own book that probably won't even go anywhere. When she goes to show the book to the old guy who ran the antique shop,
ありがとう。とてもよかった。
嘘本当のことを言ってください。書きたいことがまとまってません。後半なんかめちゃくちゃ自分で分かってるんです。
Yeah, even she knew the book was kind of trash. But that's kind of not really the point. You see, Whisper of the Heart is a story about taking the first step into the unknown, rebelling against societal expectations and the fear and anxiety that comes along with it. Shizuku's book isn't good, but it's a diamond in the rough. The old man doesn't tell Shizuku that she's talentless or that she's a prodigy. The reality is that she has a really long journey ahead of her. The thing about creating something is that you have to create a lot of shit before you can make something that's actually good. Just look at any YouTuber's first videos. You know, seeing this, it actually inspired me to stop going to high school. Because I'm graduating. In reality, I'm going to college for computer science, one of the most popular degrees, and that too mainly because it pays really well. Nah, but I feel like going to college is a weird time in your life, and watching this anime, I actually could relate to the feeling of not knowing what you really want to do and just feeling kind of lost. For me, making videos is the way I try to do something for myself instead of following down the one-way street of society. But I don't think you have to do anything crazy like drop out of middle school. Even if it's just something small like learning how to draw your favorite anime character or making a sick beat, do something because you just want to do it. Because maybe if you look around hard enough, you'll find something that you truly enjoy doing. What is the lo-fi girl studying for? Why is she stuck eternally in a loop of writing scribbles on a page? I have no idea, but I think that is kind of the point. Society may say, oh, you need to go to sleep. Writing scribbles on a page has no use, but she continues to do it anyways. Just like Seiji, the lo-fi girl inspires us to do stuff that actually makes us happy, instead of what is thrust upon us by society. Or maybe not, maybe you're just listening to it to do your homework too and you actually hate doing your homework. But most of all, the lo-fi girl gives us some good beats to relax us to study.